Gaffer, Lincoln to come on Saturday, but as always, let's look back to the last game first of all. A great performance and a great result against Mansfield. Having seen it back, what are your reflections?
Well, like you said, it was a good performance. I thought the first half an hour was really good. Mixed it up, played in behind, got down the sides of them, but played some good football in front of them as well, causing problems. Could have scored a few more. And then, to be fair, I think they done well. They stayed in the game, and we managed the game. We knew that we had a tough game at the weekend previous, and we knew we had this game coming up at weekend. So trying to manage the legs, but all in all, a really good performance.
After the game, Nigel Clough said that first half an hour was the toughest half an hour they've had all season. When you hear things like that from fellow professionals, how nice a feeling is that, I suppose?
I think it's more nicer for the players, the fact that we've, that front three, front four, have played with each other for the first time. They trained probably one session together. So to go out and perform like that is a huge credit for them. We obviously rested Charlie Kelman. We've got Ollie O'Neill out. We've got Sonny who's on the bench. We've got Dan Aggie who's coming back from fitness. So the options at the top end of the pitch now are really, really good. So the players need to be on the game. And the front four that started against Mansfield was on the game. Front-footed, skillful, pace, power. Really good mixture of what is needed to score goals.
When you get yourselves in front by that kind of margin by half time, does it make things slightly easier physically in the second half, or does that have no impact?
It depends how you start. For example, when we were 4-0 up against Exeter at half time and we start the second half really sloppily, goes to 4-2, and then doubts start creeping in your mind. But we know we've got goals we know we've got clean sheets, but we also now we know we've got goals in the team as well from all different areas of the pitch. And I think we managed the game a lot better than Exeter. We didn't give no cheap free kicks away. We defend. Exeter was tough because we conceded from a set play where Dan Happ had just come on for Omar Beckles and we got it wrong slightly. So I don't really remember Josh making too many saves, even though Mansfield had a little bit more of the ball in the second half. But the game management is something that I pride myself on and want my teams to be really good in. And I thought it was really good.
We're obviously in the middle of a really hectic period at the moment. How are we looking fitness-wise off the back of Tuesday?
Yeah, there's not too many in terms of injuries. Jack Simpson pulled out in the warm-up. He's looking okay. Dan Happ's got a slight niggle. Darren Prattley's got a slight niggle. So, in terms of people who will be out of the squad, maybe one or two coming back. Still the same. Sean Clare, 2 to 3 weeks. Ollie O'Neill, a couple of weeks. And then obviously the long-term lads, so Beckles will be 6 to 8 weeks. So other than that, more or less the same squad, give or take a couple of niggles.
And Lincoln to come on Saturday, we narrowly lost up there earlier in the season. What can we expect from them?
Well, I think we've had 2 games, the last 2 games against them, especially away from home. We've had all the ball, we've played in front of them. We've been slow, we've been lethargic, and they've been waiting to pounce and press and counter-attack on us. So we need to be sharper with the ball, we need to be clever, we need to ask more questions. This season away from home, I don't think it was a game that we should have lost. But you start the game sloppily, especially second half, then you pay the consequences, and we did that. So more pace, more power, more intensity about our game needed.
There's been lots of praise for your team in the last 7 days or so off the back of Man City, and one person in particular who's got a lot of praise is Jamie Donnelly. He's won the EFL Young Player of the Month award. How just deserved is that for him?
I thought he should have won the Player of the Month. I think he scored 5 and assisted 5 in a month. That's difficult to do. So whoever won it must have been playing really, really well. But it's not just about the goals and the assists. His development has been huge off the ball. He's winning second balls now. He's been in the right place defensively. His duels now, he's starting to change his body. He looks like a real man now, even though he's a baby. And I've said on previous interviews I couldn't be more proud of him, the way he's handled himself, the way he's come through that difficult period. And we're looking at a real top talent. His potential is huge. So a reward that is fully deserved. And hopefully he can keep pushing and want more awards from now to the end of the season.
And I think I've asked you this before, but how much satisfaction does it give you with people like Jamie who come in sort of maybe a little bit wet behind the ears, but they mature as the season goes on and get better and better?
Yeah, it's not. We're not a club that can afford to finish articles. In fact, unless you're the real big boys in the Premier League and you go and can spend 50, 60 million on established players that have, smoothened all them edges, we're never going to get them players. So it's an important part of our job that we take younger players and we make them better, obviously, but we're not going to improve Jamie Donnelly as a technical footballer. We're not going to improve Ethan Galbraith as a technical footballer. The technique is there. It's about the understanding of the game, the positioning, the decision making, the game management that comes along with having that real top technical ability. So that's really pleasing. I'll be very surprised. I know it went down as an Ortega own goal, but I'll be very surprised if he doesn't win goal of the fourth round of the FA Cup as well, because, like I say, he has that ability, and along with 5 or 6 other young kids that we've got in our team, we couldn't be more proud of him.
And just lastly, I think whenever we play Lincoln now, it's always going to be a bit of an emotional occasion, given what happened to Derek Reynolds last season. Just on the fans, I think everyone will obviously pay their respects in this game, Saturday and going forwards. But once the game starts, how much of a difference can those in attendance make to our team? I
think the biggest respect we can pay Derek is get 3 points. His son still texts me on Twitter, and I think he texted me before the Man City game saying that, how proud his dad would have been of the recent run and the fact that we're playing Manchester City and the performance that we put in against Manchester City. So I think whenever this fixture comes out, it will always be in respect of Derek. But I think it's important that we get a full house, a big crowd, and like I say, the best thing we can do in his memory is put on a good performance and get 3 points and remember him in that way.